Hey, first of all, I wanted to thank, before I began, every one of you who has subscribed to my YouTube channel, who has given me um, the thumbs up as it relates to the short videos that I made to get to the point where I am now. Now, this was not the initial live stream or first video that I had intended to make, but because of the growing importance of matters related to the current presidential elections, which, from the information that I have seen from the Associated Press, is that Donald Trump has won the presidential election. With that being said, prior to Donald Trump winning the presidential election, I have made numerous comments on various posts as it relates to my belief, based upon personal experience, that he, like Kamala Harris, was unfit for that position of public trust. Many people tend to pick one party over the other based upon their political affiliation. An affiliation which has nothing to do with whether an individual candidate is fit for a specific position of public trust. It also baffles me how many individuals who seek our assistance as the electorate in hopes to obtain a position of public trust tend to tell us, the constituency, every 2, 4, 6, or 8 years, the things that they feel we want to hear in order to manipulate us into supporting their political campaigns. And like in the past, the same thing has played out yesterday, when many people here in America, in spite of our history as it relates to the lies told to us by members in public office, have went out to the polling booths to cast a vote for a specific individual who, as we have seen, is truly unfit to serve as the president for the United States of America. I know this to be true because of my personal experience with Mr. Donald Trump. Mr. Donald Trump does not care about individuals such as you and I. How could he? He doesn't even know who many of us are. And when he was in that position of public trust years ago, I'm pretty sure that some of us had went to him with concerns or complaints that he, as president, had utterly ignored, which only signifies that Donald Trump, like many other presidents before him, whether they were Democrat or associated with the Republican Party, have manipulated the American people, such as you and I, into believing that they had our best interests at heart, when in fact they truly did not. I personally did not vote because, like I said earlier, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris are, in my view, based upon my knowledge of politics and law, were unfit for that position of public trust. I did not allow the bogus concept that many people leading up to this general election have stated. And that statement that many people have made to me was, we have to vote for the lesser of the two evils. And when you really think about that concept or that notion, it is outlandish. For the simple fact, if we as individuals continue to vote for the lesser of the two evils, we are in fact still voting to have evil-minded people put in political positions. Positions that many of us tend to believe gives these civilians, such as you and I, absolute power or authority over us and everything else that is located in the world that we live in. What many people have failed to realize is that no civil servant has more authority or power than the electorate, such as you and I, who have placed them in those particular positions. We, like I've told many people in the past, cannot give someone something that we do not have in abundance ourselves. So when we look at Donald Trump, for instance, he only believes, as so many others do, that he has authority or absolute power or control over everyone and everything within the United States of America, to include other countries, because of the title that he possesses. Without that title, Donald Trump, to be quite frank, is a complete and utter coward. And many of you who see this live stream may choose to defend Donald Trump based upon the statement that I just made about him. But what you have to realize is this: Donald Trump would not fight physically for you as I have seen many people do for him. You can like an individual based upon what they say because it aligns with your agenda or personal interests. But what we should never do is support an individual who has every intent to take a certain position of public trust, such as the office of the presidency for the United States of America, and utilize their privileged authority in which we, the constituency, have given them to represent our interests for their benefit. We do not put individuals in civil service, for instance, to disregard the very laws that were designed to respect and protect our civil, constitutional, and human rights. I do not believe that there is one of us here in this country who would attest to them appointing certain members in the communities into positions of public trust to enable those individuals to encroach upon the very rights that we have under the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution for the United States of America, to include the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Not one of us. And I can personally say that I have never voted to have a specific individual appointed or elected to a political position to fulfill their personal business, financial, political, or spiritual interests or agendas through encroaching upon my inalienable rights. That is not why I voted for specific individuals to take public office in the past. I voted to elect or appoint those particular individuals into those positions of public trust to respect and defend my rights under the Constitution, in which they all have taken an oath to protect and defend against enemies, both foreign and domestic. Civil servants do not take their oaths to us seriously, y'all. Oaths that they make before us under God. They do not take them seriously because we, as people in general, do not hold them accountable by utilizing the rightful authority that we have under the Constitution. Now, with that being said, for those of you who have actually voted for Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, but specifically Donald Trump, since it appears that he has won this particular election, when Donald Trump does not do for you what he has taken an oath to do, I do not want to hear any of you publicly or privately making complaints about Donald Trump based upon what he did not do, because you, my people, are the ones who voted for him. And for the ones who voted for Donald Trump, you too must know that I do not agree with his election. I do not agree with the decision that many of you have made to elect that tyrant into public office for a second term. With that being said, when Donald Trump implements policies that impede upon our civil, constitutional, and human rights, you all need to know, to include Donald Trump, law enforcement personnel, and military personnel, that I will not tolerate personally any violation of any of my inalienable rights. If you choose to violate my freedoms that are protected by the supreme law of the land, you will, in essence, become the criminal, also known as felons, and you will be dealt with by individuals like me who are known to be law-abiding citizens. You will be dealt with. There is judicial precedent that enables me or any other civilian who is subjected to an unlawful arrest to resist that arrest with physical or deadly force if necessary. And these particular judicial precedents established by the justices of the Supreme Court of the United States of America, signifies that individuals who resist an unlawful arrest cannot be penalized in a court of law. So you all have to understand that many of us civilians are fed up with the acts of abuse and neglect in which you all, as civil servants, have constantly subjected us to. Again, many public servants, in order to take office, tend to manipulate us with lies in order to obtain a specific position of public trust. And if we continue to allow them to get away with that, to get away with perpetrating those specific actions against us, what we have went through by their hands will only become worse. And I got on live just to tell you all that. Many of you voted. So my question to you all is, when Donald Trump or any other member of our society who has been elected or appointed to positions of public trust does not keep their oath that they made before us under God, under the Constitution for the United States of America, or any other state constitution for that matter, that conforms with the federal Constitution, what are you all going to do about it? That is the question that you all must answer for yourselves. Are you all going to stand by and allow injustices to prevail? Or are you going to do something about it? And if you feel that you are going to do something about it, the second question that I have for you all is, how will you prevail against those in civil service who are surrounded by individuals who are heavily armed, if you all continue to allow those tyrants in civil service to create gun control measures designed to restrict your access to arms? And I'm going to tell you all something. Praying to Jesus Christ is not going to do it. As it didn't do anything for the individuals who prayed to Jesus Christ on the planes that crashed into the Twin Towers. For those of you who still remember that particular day in this country that has made history. The Bible says faith without works is dead. Meaning we have to put forth action based upon the beliefs that we have as individuals. And we need to come together collectively to ensure that those whom we have elected or appointed to positions of public trust honor their oath to us made under the Constitution in order to make this world a better place for all. If we, as individuals, neglect our responsibility as the constituency to do so under this democratic nation that we speak so highly of to members of other countries, we can't blame no one else for the unwarranted trials and tribulations that many of us will endure but ourselves. You all remember that. In closing, I will say that I do intend to make an official YouTube video to get started on what my content is about. And that is about or pertaining to educating the vast majority of the general population of laws, rules, and regulations that many of you are unfamiliar with, that is designed to protect the very freedoms that you cherish so much. And the primary focus of this endeavor that I have is to speak about and educate you all on the right that we have to keep and bear arms. There's a lot of legal authority out there that many of you, I am willing to bet, are unfamiliar with. Hence is the reason why we still continue to see individuals in prison who has obtained firearms after a prior felony or certain misdemeanor conviction. Offenses that has, quite frankly, been declared as unconstitutional. But many of you did not know that. And I will speak about the right to keep and bear arms because that is a right that is required to safeguard every other freedom that we have. Because without the means to defend and protect what we have from those hell bent on taking what we have, there will be no other option but for people to concede, to give away the things that they possess in hopes to not be murdered, for lack of a better term, or penalized through imprisonment. Until that day comes, though, I hope each and every last one of you have a good day or night, depending on where you are in this world. And just stay vigilant. And do not continue to take a civil servant's word on the things that he or she speaks about because you like them, because you are affiliated with a certain political party, because even they are wrong, y'all. And it's up to us as the constituency, the very people who put them there in those positions, to check them when they get out of line. Because we cannot count on anyone else in public office to hold their colleagues accountable on our behalf. Have a good day.